Hello and welcome back to Ikoku Nikki episode 2. Oh wait, I'm pronouncing that right, Ikoku Nikki. Forgive me, I'm a bit ill, as you can tell with my voice. Had a bit of a cold last few days. Kind of at the back end of it now, but I've got like a cough and a sore throat now, so it's whatever. Yeah, the show's awesome. Episode 1 was really cool. I'm really glad to be doing this and just get into more of it and just see like how else we're going to be exploring these characters. It did pretty well on YouTube as well, like surprisingly well. It's nice to see that there is an audience for this. And understandably so, it's not a typical reactors show. There's not really a lot to react to, I suppose. It's not with stuff like Jujutsu Kaisen, for example, there's a lot more you can react to and sort of gush about. But with Ikoku Nikki, it's not that type of show. And those are the type of shows I usually gravitate more towards in general. So I'm glad to see there's other people that kind of are interested in that sort of stuff as well. Also understandable that not a lot of reactors are doing it, given this season is pretty stacked. There's a lot of big shows airing. And obviously, I'm obviously not doing this for the views, otherwise I'd be reacting to Jujutsu Kaisen and what's it called, Frieren, and pretending like I haven't read the manga and Fate Strange Fake. But this is the show I like to do shows that perhaps don't get more attention on YouTube, and for people that, because a lot of times with myself, there's a lot of shows that I love that I look for reactions for on YouTube, and there's not that many of that high quality that I want to watch. So I sort of felt like, I guess I'll just do it myself and see if any people are interested in it, and they are, which is great. So yeah, Ikoku Nikki episode 2, let's get straight into it. Makio and Asa, right, I'm pretty sure.
掃除してもいい？
無理しなくても。
いや、無理っていうか、掃除好きだし。
Yeah,
や
it's
りたいっていう。
a bit of a dump.
ならどうぞ。
小説？
Backstory,
本当に書いてるんだ。小説。
だったら
and she's not taking it seriously, yeah.
小説なんて。あんたもう少し。
So it is a novel. It's good to know. I wonder if she's done multiple novels, or this is like still her first.
歌がうまい。日記なのか。
Cute. Emily. I wonder who that is. School friend, maybe?
あ、
はい。
それ開いてるとつい読んでしまって申し訳ないのでもう少しこそこそと。
別にいいけど、読んでも。
いや、日記なんだからそこはもっとこう。
I just love Ushio's soundtrack. Like
いう話。
はい。
those like piano notes are just so iconic to
昨日
him.
も鍋だったような。
うち基本的に鍋どんどん生姜焼き刺身で回してんだけど。
もうすって
1週間。
え？
昼はうどん。
何曜日が？
毎日。最近どう？
同級生から、なんて返してって。
そういえば私もそんな LINE 来てたな。
From classmate, it doesn't
なんて
like
返したの？
say that she's like a friend or anything.
そろそろ返すか。
But like the idea of Asa just kind of existing with her, it's kind of making her do things like that and replying. Hey.
マジ突然の子持ちだ。
さすっげえ入って寒いから
ういっす。朝ちゃんだよね。マキオから聞いた。第五7です。い
Nana.
くつ ?15。
Flashbacks.
ウケる。
Daigo Nana. That's close to Daigo Nana.
シナモンが死んで
なんだ
ないからいける
マジいやー、なんか片付いてるし座れる。ほら。
あなたオフショルってどうなのよ。
っていうかシナモンって死ぬの？なんなら
この
もうミイ
会
ラじゃん。
話成り立ってるのかな。
この会話成り立ってる
聞こえてはいる。で、シナモンって死ぬの？
分かってるんだ。
I like the colours.
あ、
The outfits and the colours.
大人が友達してるとこってあんま見たことないなーって。はあ、お母さんは？
ダメな大人を見るのが初めてってことじゃん
Yeah.
ああ、それか。
普通の大人
Her laugh is
笑わね
funny.
えから
笑う。
お腹減った。ご飯作ろう、ご飯。これは？
Really a lot of personality in her
で
voice.
か君、ちゃんと自炊してんの？作ってる？この人。
The routine.
鍋どんどん焼き焼き刺身。ちゃんとしてんじゃん。十分じゃない？
二人分作るのがまだちょっと
ああ、そこは慣れだ慣れ。君のお姉さん専業主婦？
知らない
知らない。ウケる。ははん、なるほどですね。
これが大人の会話。
わかりました。今日は君たちのために晩ご飯を作ってあげるつもりだったんだけど、作ってやんない。
Her laugh.
大人というかもはや。違う国の言語。
ね、一緒に作ろう。っていうかメインは君たち2人でやってね。大丈夫大丈夫。
第5すでに掃除までさせてしまっているのに。
はい、やりたい。はい。掃除までさせてしまっているのに？
食事まで作らせるわけには。
包みたい。
That's my principal.
餃子包みたい
She'd feel bad.
と言っておりますが。
別に絶対ダメと言っているわけではなく。
でもマキオちゃんが迷惑なら別に。気まず。マキオくん、私は君がまた自分はこんなこともできないとか言って
第5
泣くところを絶対に
第
見たくないのね。
大人っぽくない。私には見せたことのないマキオちゃん。
They seem like
いい
long
機
time
会だと思いま
friends.
すよ。我々ただいまよりパオ団を結成いたします。パオ団？包む集団、その名もパオ団。餃子って中に何入れてもいいから優秀よね。具のリクエストある？
みょうが
今何月だと思ってんだよ。
包む女たち。
これレンチンして1分でいいや。はい。巻きはナスのヘタ取ってキャベツのみじん切り。
はい。
It's been a very chill
第5のとこ
first half.
キャベツのシーン好きだ
This
ったよ
episode
ね
so far.
まあそうボリボリいい音立てて食べんだよね。食べないよコーギー。
ヤッシは鼻真っ黒の
黒くないし鼻。縦にそうそう。あ、マキオ次ナスレンチン。できんじゃんみじん切り。
調理実習の時やりたかったのに男子に取られて。
何そいつ朝ちゃんのこと好きだったんじゃない？
いや、あいつネギが好きだった。
急にマキオみたいなこと言わないで。
は？
じゃあネギをボウルに移してさーて混ぜるぞ。
The soundtrack is so
言わ
fun.
ないけど
言ってたの、俺はネギが好きだって。
調味料は適当ね。ぐるぐるぐるぐる一方向に。
大悟さんってなんでこんなに餃子に詳しいんですか？
昔中華屋の店員さんに教えてもらったの。
へえ。
片思いしてた。
あ、
止まってる。
あ、何それ初耳。
黒歴史ですから。餃子を作るたびに思い出す彼の許さん。
やめとけよ餃子。
ぐるぐるぐるぐるぐるぐるぐるぐるぐるぐる。私は何を食べていたんだろう。毎日作ってくれてたのに、毎日美味しいと思っていたはずなのに。
おいしい朝。
思い出せない。
That's a cool visual.
うちの餃子何が入ってたっけ？
では包みたまえ
うん
パオダンよ。はい。その間に私は秘
I
伝
got
の
this first
タレ
off
を
has been
作っ
really
て
chill,
信
but
ぜよう。
those kind of thoughts creep in that aren't even necessarily negative, but it reminds you
内
of
容教えて。
her death
ゆるゆる秘伝
and
ついでに
Asa
そなた
grieving.
にも教えて信ぜるから、朝ちゃん LINE 転送してあげて。
あ、はい。
お、
いや交換しろ。 LINE の交換。
ずっと家にいたから
Yeah,
使う必要が。
さあ包むのだパオダン。はい。ニンニク生姜オイスター梅干しマスタードしそ味噌玉ねぎ酢、そして王
That's
道
good,
の
man.
酢醤油ラー油と山盛り針生姜ね。うまそう。
インスタよ。
インスタ用。
for the gram.
よしオッケー。いっただき。シバ最近どうねえ。うちは朝ちゃんのご両親のことは知ってるの？
知ってる。
What a funny
そっか。じゃあ優しいね。
visual representation for
マフよ。
this scene.
すごく
This is just completely
言
alien
葉
to
を
us.
選んでくれた感じがするから。元気？大丈夫？その後どうなった？それも正確に答えることはできないし、いかにも心配そうに聞くのも何でもない風を装うのも難しい。
Yeah, these questions it's kind of
で
easy
も
to
その
just
子は最近どうって言
give
葉
a
に
casual answer.
頑張ってそういう気遣いを全部詰め込んでくれた感じがす
Yeah,
る。
how are things going actually
優しい。
sounds very genuine.
自分で言ってよ。
いやー君のそういうとこ好きだわ。
ひえ、どうもです。
This truck's really cool.
手作りなんですかこれ？こんな地味なケーキ店で売れないし。で結局なんて返事するの？
大丈夫だよとか。
いいじゃんいいじゃん。
うん、うまっ。今日はあんがと。
いいえ。ねえ風町くんに連絡してみたら？
Kasamachi.
お金のこととか。だってあの食欲絶対跳ね上がるぞ。
Yeah, I mean,
ケース
expenses have essentially just doubled to an extent.
君人生変わるね。エポックだ。
Hmm,
尊敬するよ。
nice.
終わったよ。
ありがとう。じゃあ私仕事。
あ、はい。
寝たくなったら言って。じゃあ。
あのさ、
ん？
事故の後マキオちゃんが言ってくれたでしょ。悲しくなった時に悲しめばいいって。
おう。うん。
あれね、ありがとう。悲しくないのは
Yeah.
私が変なのかと思ってた。でもあの言葉ですごくほっとした。マキオちゃんのおかげで。
あなたの感じ方はあなただけのものだから。あなたがどう思うとそれを責める権利はない。誰にも。
だから悲しくなったら言うね。
Oh,
今は大丈夫。無理してない。
わかった。私もダメな時は言う。お互い協力してやっていこう。あ、でも私は落ち込みやすいクズなので圧は弱めでお願いします。
圧？ああ、圧か。お母さんがよく言うやつだ。こんな当たり前のこともできないのみたいなやつ。
Hit a chord there.
かけない圧。
Or Maki thinking about how her sister might have treated Asa as a daughter. Because you don't really get the impression that she was a bad mother at this point.
いつもと
But
全
I'm
然
not
違う。
sure.
どうも。
She did great there in the turtleneck. She had makeup on as well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
サインください、先生。
笠町くんさ。
Hey,
相変わらず嫌そうな顔すんな。久しぶり。
who's that voice actor? That's such a recognisable voice, man.
いや、君に呼ばれりゃどこでも現れますよ、俺は。コーヒーお願いします。
はい。
That's a star, like, voice actor. I can't think of his name though.
実は死んでませんでした的な含みがあっただろ。
ちゃんと読んでるね、本当に。
だって
She's an established
ルビーのこと
novelist
は
then.
次が出れば書く。
出ればか。
あんまり売れてないんだ、これ。かわいそうだけど。
Hmm.
せっかくそこにいるのに書かれないキャラクターがね。だって気持ち悪いね、この言い方。
気持ち悪くはないだろう。キャラクターは君の子供
すい
なんだ。
ません、ホットサンドください。
はーい。
聞けよ話。子供か。って言っても中学生
15歳。
あのさ、誤解のないように額面通りに聞いてくれよ。まず、とは思っていない。
Oh, so that was
でも、子供を引き取ったと聞いて、
it's a former
正直
thing.
ムカッとした。俺といた時は、子供なんて一生いらない。
That's a pretty natural reaction, I think. You get a little
どう
bit
いう
but
つもりだって。
weird about it. Yeah.
だから、まあ自分で思ってたより傷ついてたんだなって。そんだけの話。以上。
Wonder how long they were a thing for.
金の話だろ。
ああ、はい。少なくとも就職するまで何が必要で何をしてあげればいいのか全然。
引っ越しはあのマンション2人じゃ手狭だろ
あれは買ったものだからす
It's a
ぐ
bit
に出ていくつもりは。
う。買った
Oh yeah, yeah, that's crazy
あのマンション
to actually own that.
いつ
6年前。
めちゃくちゃ付き合ってた頃だな。
あの時やってたシリーズがポンと売れたか
As
ら。
she was pretty popular
知ら
then.
なかった。
Yeah.
一言も言わないんだな。そう。
That is crazy not to
自
mention
分の方が
your
こんなに売れるのもこれっきりだと思ったから
your partner about that.
誰かに言うと夢から覚める気がして。
Hmm.
君らしいよ。君が君で俺は嬉しい。未成年後見人の申し立ては
何それ。
生命保険をその子に受け取らせるために必要だ。証書はないの？
わからない。まだ家の整理に行ってないから。
なら
Yeah, that'll be a
一度
trip.
戻って探した方がいい。あとはそうだな。
あの子すごく寝るんだよね。昼間少し動いてあとは寝てるのずっと。本人に自覚はないみたい。
Yeah.
そうやって傷んだ
As I mentioned in the
自分を
last
少しず
episode,
つ
like barely
一人
living,
で消化し
barely,
ようとしているのかもしれない。
barely in the moment.
叩き起こして区切りをつけさせるようなことをしていいの。
I mean,
それが怖い。
yeah.
改めて驚くよ。君
It's
は
a
誰に対しても
A boundary and a line hard to handle.
俺に連絡するのも内心ビビってたはずだ。
うるさいな。
それがまさかな。
だっていや 怖いよ。怖いでしょ。ましてや15歳なんて。そんな柔らかい年頃、私のうかつな一言で
Speaking of experience, maybe.
怖いよ。
She's not wrong though.
君は嫌がるかもわからんけどさ、俺の人生も君の一言で変わったんだぞ。
なんて言ったの私。
秘密言っても思い出せないだろ。
そうやって。いや、そりゃまあ。
泣きよ。また連絡するよ。俺も会いたい、その子に。
They're sweet.
ルビーが死ぬ前に家のことを考えるシーンがあったろ。
最後の方？
そう、あそこ好きでさ、何度も読んだ。
ルビーは旅の始まりを思い出した。あの時逃げるように駆け出したその最初の一歩も、今踏み出すこの一歩も同じ、家へ帰るための一歩だった。どこを歩いていても足跡はいつだって家へ向かっていたのだ。帰るんだ、私は家に帰る。
Back here.
そう思って一歩踏み出したルビーの足は支えを失い空をかき、それすらできなくなって倒れ、頬に砂粒をつけて赤子のように地面を這った。
嫌だ、そう叫んだはずだった。だけど声は喉に絡み、
Was that her
目
mother
の
or
前の
sister?
砂粒さえ動かすことはなかった。
Yeah.
届かない。私の声はこんなだっただろうか。あなたにはどんな風に聞こえていたんだろう。聞きたい時にあなたはいない。家と言っても屋根があるだけの。
何を読んでいる？
本。おかえり。
ただいま。
何その顔。後で読もう。
朝。来週あなたの家の整理に行こう。
Well, next week's going to be fun. Yeah, this episode was much more chill. A fitting follow-up to last ep, which was pretty heavy. Even just learning about what happened in last ep alone was a lot, but getting into the emotions of it and Makio and Asa and their dynamic and how they're both clearly handling things in weird ways. Now, that was a lot, but we did tone it down a bit this ep. We kind of took a step back of the heavy stuff a bit and got a bit of learned a bit about more our characters' relationships outside of what we see here, and the mother. Do we have a name for her? I don't think we do yet. Yeah, because we meet Nana Daigo. I think there's Nana Daigo. I love her design. Very pretty. Let me go back to that. Yeah, I love design. I love the eyes in this show are really pretty. Lots of personalities to them, like this. Her design, her eyes like being drooped downwards a bit. You have that's not a good example, but Makio's are wolf-like, quite sharp, while Asa's are quite wide and innocent, almost round and innocent. Yeah. There's just so much personality to the character designs. There's so much care and effort taken into what's being drawn here. Like the big eyebrows as well, the bangs. But she's fun. She's really fun. It's good to have a character like this that can lift the spirits a bit. I know I mentioned the last episode about Living with My Brother's Wife, the manga. There's a similar character in that where she kind of comes in. She's a friend of the older character, and she's a bit more of a personality. Enjoys sort of observing their dynamic, similar to Nana or Daigo here. And yeah, it's a character you need in a show like this. It can't always be down and droopy. You can't have all the characters be serious. But it's great for characters like this when they do get a bit serious. Obviously, we get this like whole little cooking little section, and we get these visuals of how alien this is to Asa, and how just in a different world they are when they're talking. This was a really interesting flashback as well, because if you ask me about my mother's homemade meals, my mother and father's homemade meals, I'd be able to remember them, name them pretty easily. I could imagine their taste. I could imagine exactly like what was in them. I could remember all that stuff. But that's not the same for Asa, and whether that's to do with her sort of just blocking out that memory because of her death, or if it's a bit more to it than that. And I'm getting the kind of vibe and impression here that there was quite a complex dynamic between her and her mother. It wasn't as, I mean, it's not like they've portrayed it at this point to be a good one. You kind of just assume that it's fine, but it could be quite a complicated and possibly negative leaning one, maybe. I'm sure we'll get more of that next week when we end up going back to her house. Yeah, this whole like imagery, and really cool, really fun stuff. It's a good way to I don't know what the right word is, not personality, but just give a bit of like spice to scenes like this. It's a fun way to do them without just being completely ridiculous either. There's a line that Asa said that really gets to Makio. Yeah, we get this serious moment in the drawing, like big focus on the drawing, focus on the lips, like the light. I do love when shows like this, especially shows like this where the drawings are a bit more. I don't think minimalistic is the right word, but they're simple. The drawings in a good way, and then you get sort of these detailed shots where the lighting is really apparent, and all the details in the hair and the shading and the depth is all very apparent, and you know they're about to like say something or do something important. I do love it when anime does that. Same here, and she's like, your life's about to change. Like, it's really cool. Yeah, there we go. Like my mum always did. You can't even do this much. And she just kind of, sort of, shrugs it off like it's a very normal thing for a mum to say. Which is either, and for sure there's definitely, it's not inherently a really bad thing to say. Like, there's definitely times when parents would get angry or get frustrated and upset over things, and they might say something like that. But if it's like a repeated thing, or something that's really been drilled into them that they don't have much worth or much sort of ability, or like the pressure, that's kind of what she's talking about here. It can be serious, and that gets to Maki, and whether that's a case of her remembering her experiences with her sister, like we saw at the beginning. There was that like flash, that was kind of that short scene of them two when Makio said he was going to write a novel, and she's like, like not taking it seriously at all, being like, you, like, seriously. It's probably a bit of that, and a bit of like, what was your relationship with my mother like? Like, what was going on there? Like, are you okay? Like, seriously, like, is there some deep-rooted trauma here that needs to be uprooted? And we get this fun scene with this guy, previous ex. I want to find out his voice actor because he's so recognizable. I probably won't remember his name, but I'll recognize a lot of the characters he's voiced. Oh my god, it's fucking Sukuna. Of course it is. Junichi Sarabe. I know his name as well. Yeah, of course it's Sukuna. Sukuna, Grimjaw, Lugna. Yeah, he's done loads of stuff. Laurent from Great Pretender, Archer. Yeah, of course. I feel silly. I knew there was like one character that I liked, like Sukuna. I liked a lot that I recognized from his voice, but yeah, it makes sense. I do like how they keep in touch as well. They seem to have a pretty healthy relationship, it seems. I'm unsure what would have led to them breaking up or whatever like that. I get the impression it might be sort of a problem on Makio's side, given how sort of distant and not much of a people person she really is. I'm sure there was issues there. Like he finds out here that she literally owns an apartment that she bought while they were dating, that she didn't tell her about. I love this kind of introspectiveness and carefulness from Makio, talking about Asa and like how just one line or simple gesture or simple action can like really affect someone for the rest of their life, especially at this age. Even just her talk, like she's very aware of Asa's feelings and what Asa's going through and how she's handling all of this. But she mentioned, she's too scared to sort of take that step over that line and sort of really confront Asa about it at this point in time, which is valid, completely valid. To force her to sort of confront that right now, I don't think will be the right move. I think going to her house like they're doing is a really good step forward, and it allows Asa to sort of process things in a more natural way and take her time with things and process them how she wants to process them while she's there herself. We'll see how that goes next week, hopefully, but well, this week now. But yeah, and as well, I love the observation of her just like sleeping a lot, not doing much. I was thinking about when Makio said, "Oh, I'm gonna go continue working." I was like, what does Asa do during this time? And it seems to be just kind of sleep. And I like how Makio sort of mentions that he doesn't realize it. She's not like living at all. And I've been there. I've been there where you might do something or go out the house once and you get back in, you're just, I'm just gonna sleep. Like, you don't want to live in reality. You don't want to sort of confront the real world, and this is something that she's sort of doing unconsciously without realizing it, or subconsciously, sorry. She's not realizing that this is how she's coping, and it's kind of just her day-to-day life now. This is just normal for her to sort of just shut off at times like this, and we've seen it a few times where she's begins processing these feelings and memories, and then she kind of just doesn't want to look into them too deeply. She's like, okay, I'll just kind of put that to the side, deal with it later, but those things are going to pile up eventually and really start to leak out. I do really love this care that Makio does have and just thinking about it and talking about it with someone is really important as well. She can't have to deal with this all herself. She's not used to. She's not a parent, and now she's essentially become one all of a sudden. Yeah, and that line does think that there's definitely something that someone said to her, whether it was her sister or her own parents. I've actually mentioned her parents at some point. I'm not sure. There's clearly something there that's happened to her. Most like possibly the line we saw at the beginning about the novel. I do want to go back to that and kind of get it. Exactly what was said after the opening, I think. You're actually writing on a novel.
小説
だったら
Yeah. And we don't even get to hear the end of it before it cuts back to present time, so definitely seems to be something that affected her. I kind of like the serious expression that Kasama, what's his name? Kasamachi, yeah, gives her. It both gives the impression that he's taking this seriously and that she needs to as well. Not that she isn't, but it's something that she needs to give serious thought over and think about what she's doing. He's obviously already taken her in, but if it's something she can't handle, it'd be worth thinking about that and discussing that and looking to improve that as she is now. But I like the relationship. I think that they seem to be those two. Interested in how they were when they were dating and how that sort of ended, and the fact that they're still in touch in a very seemingly healthy way. And then we get back to our little desert of loneliness, our vast landscape, this time depicted through the character in the novel. And I love when fiction, anime does it a lot, where there's stories within a story that tells the story of our story. Like you get Liz and the Bluebird with the Liz and the Bluebird fairy tale, Revue Starlight, all the reviews in that, Bloom Into You, the stage play that they do, even Ave Mujika and Maigo, the songs they perform and the intermissions and live stuff that they do. It all attributes to the story. It's not just for the sake of it, and it seems to be the case here as well. We get here, and Asa's reading it. I wasn't sure whether Asa knew that Makio wrote this or not, because Makio could be going by a pen name. She doesn't really make it clear that whether she knows or not, and Makio doesn't sort of make it clear that it's her. So I'm not too sure regarding that. But yeah. Next week, I assume next episode, we're going back home. I'm really excited for that. I'm excited to see how Asa handles it. Whether we get more flashbacks to Asa and her mum and how their relationship was. Whether it's going to sort of dig up some stuff in Asa's memory or not. We'll see. I'm excited for it though. But yeah, I think that's everything for today. Episode 2, really great one. Nice follow-up to episode 1. That was a bit more chill this episode, but it still has a lot of stuff to talk about and think about. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate all the comments from the last episode. I'm glad to see a lot of people are on board this series and going to be watching the reactions. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.